All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Today is October the 24th, 2021. And we are on the very last week of October, if you can believe it. If you're like me, y'all just remember like when it was July, we're like a brand new seminar year. Woo! And now it's like, what is that? July, August, September, October. We're like 4 months into it, you guys. We got a lot to do in the last week. And so I'm super excited to introduce to y'all Jana Strunk. And Jana is one of our Boss Babe directors. You hear her every week, but she went to a fabulous fall retreat with National Sales Director Jill Davis, and Julia Monday was a guest speaker there, and she was telling me about it. And I said, you know what, Jana, I think it'll be really great to share on the Boss Babe call. So she's going to talk a little, and she's going to invite some of her gals that were also there to share a little bit too, some of our amazing consultants that are in her area. And so respectfully, I'm going to give it over to Miss Senior Sales Director all the way from Kansas, the amazing Jana Strunk. Woo!
Thank you, Cleta. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you
Yeah.
hear me all right? Woohoo, awesome. Well, I am super excited to be here, you guys. What a treat it was. What an infusion of energy that it was, attending a live in-person event with such extraordinary national sales directors in all of Jill's area. It was just a total blessing, you guys. So you know what we think, oh yeah, I can watch it on screen. No, if you have the opportunity, if you feel safe enough to do so, get in person at these events. It was so powerful, you guys. And so I'm going to share a few things. I'm going to ask a couple of people that attended with me to share a few things. It was just an overall, just very, very powerful event. So first of all, it started off at the directors meeting. Imagine this, we get seated, Jill introduces Julia, and Julia's like, all right, put your stuff down. We're going to go for a walk. And we're like, what? We're going to go for a walk. Okay, this is exciting. And so she walked us out in the hall. It was follow the leader. So, you know, you walked out one door and you walked around, and she took us all in the hall by the little coffee station. She's like, all right, this is our spot. And so she said, what I want y'all to do, she said, sometimes when you're going on a trip, she said, oh, how many were there? I would say probably 100, 200, just guessing. I'm really not sure. That's just a guess, but anyway, so all the independent sales directors are standing out in the hall. And so we're all, she's like, all right, scoot on in. And so we're all standing there. And she said, you guys, you know, you're going on a trip. She said, you pack your luggage. She said, but you know what? Sometimes life, you have baggage and it's heavy and it's cumbersome and it's probably more than you need in your Mary Kay business. And so she said, you know what? Sometimes we all have baggage. Sometimes we have, what's the baggage that you have? Type it in the chat if you want to, seriously, you guys. But think about that. Fear, maybe fear of failure, maybe fear of success, maybe regret, maybe fear of failure. Thank you, Katie. Sometimes people have a fear of success. Sometimes people have regret. Sometimes there's just something that has a hold on you that you're carrying around. Maybe, overthinking. I love that, Tamara. I'm not good enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not cute enough. Somebody once told me that I'm slow, so I can't go fast in my Mary Kay business. What is it that's got a hold of you? I want you to pray about that and think about that tonight. And so what she said then, here we are standing all in the hall. She's like, all right, now I want you to take that bag of whatever that is, that fear of failure, that doubt, that whatever that is, procrastination, I want you to set it down. She said, set the baggage down. And she said, you might have several bags. So here are people in the hall, like setting down these like invisible, they're invisible bags, but they're not unreal, you guys. Just like the wind is real, so is the baggage that you need to get rid of. And so maybe you need to do that on a daily basis. What is it that you need to unload on a daily basis? You know, I love it that she said, Julie also said during not at the same time, but she said, you know what? You brush your teeth twice a day. how about cleaning up your brain and what you're thinking twice a day? And so I love that. Another thing that she talked about, and so by the way, after we unloaded everything, then yes, marriage problems, family problems, drama, whatever you've got going on, sometimes you have to unload that. You have to unload it, physically unload it, and then go do your Mary Kay business. Do what you know is going to take you towards your goals and dreams. And so you got unload it, sisters. And so just so many good things. One of the things she talked about was intentionally trusting God more, really knowing that He is taking you to your dreams. God put those dreams in your heart for a reason. Trust God's timing. And if he gave you the dream, it's going to happen. So she talked about when she was becoming a national sales director, she knew that was her goal. She knew that was her dream. And so it was really, really powerful because she talked about, her national sales director was, just slipped out of Rena Tarbett. And so Rena was this also small in stature, huge in personality type of woman. And she would call you out. And it's funny because Julia, I feel like, is the same way. And so she said that, she had a couple of years where she didn't achieve what she wanted to achieve. And they hit 920,000 instead of million one year. And she said, you know what? You have to trust God, though. You have to trust His timing. So it was Mary Kay's 50th anniversary, and she debuted as a national sales director, and her national sales director emeriti, Rena Tarbett, was able to be there on stage with her. And everyone cheered and celebrated and got to be there because you know what? Rena Tarbett went through cancer, and she fought cancer. I think she said 21 years. I thought it was a little bit longer, but she fought breast cancer, and it had metastasized, she had part of her skull removed at one point. Seriously, you guys, this woman was a fighter. And so everybody, all of the Mary Kay arena that had been there and prayed with her and saw her fight this fight, got to be there in that arena and watch her be there with Julia as Julia debuted. And so what Julia said was really special. She said, you know what? That timing wasn't about me. That was about the Lord allowing Rena to be there because Rena died 4 months later. She said, sometimes the timing's not about you, but you just have to trust God with what He has put in your heart, the dream that He's put on your heart. And so I thought, wow, that is so powerful. I also loved it because she talked about being a bulldog. She said, bulldog gets a hold of their dreams. She said, gets a hold of something and doesn't let go. She said, I want you to be a bulldog on your dreams. Be a bulldog, get a hold of it and grab on and don't let go. Be powerful, just like the jaws of a bulldog. And so, yeah, that was really fun. Some of the other things that I thought were really, really powerful. Susan McCoy, she's just an amazing top director, $1 million future national sales director. Susan McCoy, she talked about an acronym that she likes to keep in front of her at all times, and that is PATH, P-A-T-H. And she said that in her mind stands for praise and trust Him. Praise and trust Him. So you know what? She said, through the good and the bad, through the good and the bad, through the good and the bad, praise and trust Him. So I love that. I thought that was really powerful. Another thing that there's so many things, independent sales directors. Wow, we should have another total call for this because Trip Director Cheryl Reed shared what she is doing to help her unit members increase their sales. And she's actually streaming into their page, but I'm not going to go into all of that. I'm just going to tell you that. And if you want to know more, I can talk about it on the Director Voxer. And so something that I did think that would benefit everybody on this call, though, and that is this. At the beginning of the month, she does something to engage people on her customer page, and then she puts it on her unit page so her consultants can see that, and then they can copy off of what she's doing. And she does game day. So she does a little thing where, there's lipsticks in the jar, and they have their clients guess how many are in there, and whoever picks closest gets a prize. And so one of the prizes that she encourages consultants to give out is the select minis. And the select minis, if you're going to give out a select mini and they all cost the same, why wouldn't you give out that serum C plus E? Because your returns and which I've already been doing that. I always have a whole bunch of those. Your return's going to be better on that. When you get people on powerful supplements like that, I also thought microdermabrasion, because it's like what, $2.50, maybe $3 for that select mini. And you're getting people on an amazing supplement that they're going to be reordering from you. So game day. And then in the middle of the month, she does something called referral day. And then when people add people to the group, then anybody that adds 5, I think she puts them into the drawing for the prize. And again, the consultants give away a select mini. Now, Cheryl, if Cheryl's on their VIP page, she tells them, get your people, the winners to me, and I'm going to draw something big for that. So anyway, I thought that was really good. And, with the referrals, even though we're working virtually, you guys, we want to be mindful of making sure that we protect the Mary Kay Go Give spirit and honor the ways of not stealing other people's clients. And so I love that she said, when you get referrals, you want to reach out to them individually and just say, hey, welcome to my page. Thank you so much for joining us here. What has been your experience with Mary Kay in the past? Because that is going to be a key, that it's going to open the door for a conversation. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze here again. It's going to open the door for you to know whether she has an independent beauty consultant servicing her or not. Okay. So I don't know. I don't think any of these run all month. I think game day just runs for a couple of probably that day. Okay. So, and then referral days in the middle of the month. And then at the end of the month, she has something fun called Foundation Day. And by the way, I've already created some clip art for this, so I'll be posting it in the Boss Babes group. And so, and I can definitely share that. Foundation Day is, she just posts something that says, hey, today's Foundation Day. Go to my website and click on, the tips and trends and take the foundation survey and send your results to me for a $5 coupon off of any foundation today. Okay. That's that day. That's not a week-long promotion. That's that day. Okay. So those things were really, really amazing. And you know what? Just the camaraderie and being around the women. So there are some people on here that I just want to pop on with me. So Cleta, if you could indulge me, I would like to start with Annette Klein. And so Annette's on here, and I'm going to have just Annette, Dolores, Katie, and then Trista. So anyway, there we go. Hi, Annette. How are you?
I am fine.
Fantastic. Okay, so this is your first Mary Kay event in a long time. You were in Mary Kay a long time ago, and you just got back into your Mary Kay business this past June, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this was your first in-person event in years. How did this make you feel?
Very thankful that I was at a point in my life where, after COVID especially, my husband and I have been working on stuff, and I have had no personal connection with anybody, and everybody was so nice. All of even the national directors and the directors, and everybody was so kind and so nice and didn't treat me like a newbie. And everybody answered questions and didn't make you feel stupid because you didn't know. And it was just wonderful.
That is awesome. Is there anything that you took away from the event that you have implemented into your business yet, or that you plan to?
I went to a event yesterday that it was kind of small, and I had a booth that just introduced Mary Kay to people, and gave them little samples of stuff, and they were so appreciative and so open to the idea that I got past being afraid of asking, that it was more just of a visit. And then they would ask me questions. So that took away the fear that I had. And I listened to all the ladies that all had the same problems, that I was having. And so I'm going to change locations here for a second. It was just good. Everything was good.
That's awesome. Well, Annette, I just want to thank you so much for taking a chance on my suggestion to attend this event. You were such a joy to be around there. So thank you so much. So we're going to go ahead and hear from Dolores. All right. Hey, Dolores. Great to see you. So I know that you are a gal that loves to attend these events. You love to be in person. Tell me. Uh-oh, I'm echoing. Tell me what stirred your
Sounds
heart
like
at this event.
someone may have their speakerphone on or something. Hang on just a minute. All right, try it now.
Can you hear me now?
I think we're good.
I think we're good. Okay. Dolores, what stirred your heart at this event?
Well, we had the opportunity to listen to several directors, and there were just like the main nuggets I took from each one of them, and I'll just tap on those nuggets that I got from each one. Christy Campbell shared that there was a bridge between belief and knowing, and there's faith and trust in there that helps hold that up. And if I think I can, the right place and time, then knowing everything will unfold in the right place and time. And that's, and that's something that just resonates with me, because it's the way I feel about my business, that there's things I'm doing, but I know things are going to come when it's time for them to come. I can't force that. I will do what I need to do, and it will come, because the blessings keep popping up on me, and it's like I keep looking, thinking like I'm hearing, hey, pay attention here. I'm putting people in your path. Talk to them.
You're doing the work. When you're doing the work, the fruit will show up, the harvest will show up. What would you say that you're putting into action that you heard? What is one thing that you're really wanting to implement?
Well, Heather McKinney said, if you do enough, it will come. And in seeing it, knowing it, I just totally believe that, because the people that I have come in contact with and I've connected with, they reach back to me. And I never know when they're going to reach back to me, but they reach back to me. My last team member was somebody I met 3 years ago, and I just kept sending her books and touching bases with her. And she showed up, said, hey, I need this. We talked, and bam, then she was my team member. And it's that knowing and sharing with people and the consistency of it. You don't know what fruits it's going to bear, but it's such a blessing when it shows up, and you just have to look and remember and thank God that, you did it, stayed the course, and you were blessed.
Amen, sister. And you know what? I know that when you put that to work and you increase your numbers, I see that picture on your poster board behind you, that car. Yeah, that is going to happen. So stay the course. Thank you so much, Dolores, for sharing. I just appreciate you being there. And you're amazing, energetic, and loyal. So you add to the energy of these events. And so I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. Trista, girl, oh my goodness. Wow. I know you had some breakthroughs. So please expand a little bit on some of the things that you learned there and kind of really what stirred your heart.
So I always love going to Mary Kay events. I was so glad to be able to go in person. It was so refreshing to be around women that love the Lord and have such a passion to just learn more about their business and continue to grow. So my biggest struggle is fear. I've shared that a lot of times before. And I was listening to, I believe it was Kayla. I can't remember her last name. Kayla
Yeager?
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you. And she's a brand new director, and she was so awesome to listen to and hear. She did a lot of we had like four directors that did our red jacket training, and she just stood up in front of us and she was just like, I was valedictorian of my high school and my college and all of these things, and all these things were happening. And I was just so scared. I was so scared to succeed. I was so scared to fail. And it was like this giant light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is me. Holy smokes. And holy smokes, how much have I let the enemy keep me from pushing through and pushing forward because of that fear? And I don't know why that connection just happened, but it was like, holy smokes. And so I did a lot of praying and just listening to all the directors, a lot of affirmations. I love our affirmations, but I'm really bad at doing them. I am super good at encouraging women. Like, that is definitely a spiritual gift of mine, but I am not good at encouraging myself. Like, when Julia was like, and I was telling her this, during our red jacket training before everyone else got to meet her, which was fantastic. She was just like, why can't you just look in the mirror, like, and know that this is who God created you to be? And I was just like, like, I don't know. She's like, you need to do it. You need to look in the mirror and know that God is pleased with you. And he is so excited about your future and your journey, wherever it's taking you. And it's crazy. So I downloaded this app, and doing affirmations every day throughout the day has like changed it just gives you a shift. So that was a huge thing that I took away, was affirmations, and then receiving it. All I heard the whole weekend is, I receive, I receive, I receive. Golly, let's receive what God has for us, right? Let's claim that. Let's speak that truth into our life, because he has great, amazing things for us. And we hear people say it and we talk about it, but it was like, holy smokes, like, I receive it and I'm going to claim that. And why not? Why would God not want me to be an elite? Why would he not want me to be going to directorship? Because that's silly. Of course he does, because this is where he's guiding me. And there were so many things. Another thing is using my family as an excuse. How often I stood there in front of Julia and was like, yeah, I'm busy. I teach kindergarten and I'm a military spouse and I have 2 boys at home. And she goes, so? And I was like, okay. And she's like, be a magnet of miracles. She talked about it condensing and there's another word she used, and combining time and making it happen. Like, God is big enough to give you the time that you need to accomplish the goals that he has for you. And he's going to give you a passion and a desire, and he's going to guide you. And if that's something that you believe in and you claim in your life, let it be. And learn from it and fail. Be okay with failure. Be okay with no's. And that's all okay. And just using my family as a priority now instead of an excuse. That was huge. Like, oh, I can't, I just don't want to take away from my family. And I was like, but wait a second, I am taking away from my family. I'm taking away financial freedom. I'm taking away college funds. I'm stealing by not doing where God has called me. And so anyway, it was really, really good. And then another big one is just some books she told us to get. So there's a book called The Audacity to Be Queen. And then I just got the other one, Jesus CEO. I just got this one and it's really, really good so far. But this one has been a game changer. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but before I hop off, well, stop talking, I just want to read just a paragraph, if that's okay. I read this last Monday to our group. It's just powerful. And I just hope this speaks to somebody on this call tonight. It says, in every woman lives a queen. She is smart, feminine, powerful, spiritual, generous, visible, prosperous, and usually has a great sense of humor, which we all do, right? Though she has, enjoys, and requires great material wealth, she doesn't bow to it, nor does she lord it over others. Instead, she lives a life worthy of her calling. Being queen is about becoming the best version of yourself. A queen never denies her ability of her worth. She is confident. She doesn't settle for crumbs or scrapes by on the bare minimum. She makes excellent decisions quickly and easily. Her boundaries are intact, and she's appropriately mindful of the boundaries of others. So many of us aren't, and we need to be. She doesn't ask for permission. She gives it to herself. We need to give ourselves permission to be free and to be successful and to push through. She gives it to herself in spades. And most importantly, at the center of a queen's life is her spiritual connection. A queen's true power comes from her divine source. And that's why a queen never fails to prioritize her time with spirit and time with herself. And that was like the first thing I read in this book. And I'm just like, are you kidding, Lord? Like, this is so crazy. And so everything that happened was all about the Lord, and the Lord just affirming and affirming and affirming where he wants me in this amazing company. And just in my life with Mary Kay, not necessarily just the company, but where he has used this amazing family. It's a family to make me see who I am in the Lord for others. It's just amazing. It's life-changing. And so I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed that I did not miss out on this opportunity, that God he really worked it out for me to be able to go. So anyways. So
Trista, thank you so much for sharing. Okay, first of all, who is the author of the book?
The author of The Audacity to Queen is Jana Devi.
Okay.
Devi. And then Jesus CEO is Lori Beth Jones.
Okay.
Beth Jones.
Thank you for talking about the audacity to be queen, because I remember being convicted when she was talking about that. She said, a queen, how does a queen perform or act? A queen has her shoulders back, and she doesn't allow, when people are coming or going or not doing what you think that they're going to do, she doesn't allow that to affect them. She just moves on because she's the queen. And I thought, OMG, that is so powerful. And I'm not going to come apart when I have things happen in life. Yeah. I'm just going to be the queen. So,
and I'll just say one more thing, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
So, I think it was Christy Campbell. Yeah. She had said, we were talking about like why we don't take the opportunity to share the opportunity, and because we're afraid of hearing no's, or, that's not for them. Right. But how many women are praying for you to ask? Mm-hmm. They're praying for that financial freedom in their life. They're praying for a sisterhood. That's what I prayed for when I was trying to before I joined Mary Kay, I was praying for a sisterhood to get out of this mundane, and here it is, like, hello, and all the other things that come along with it. But they are praying for us to ask.
Amen. And I'm willing to bet that if we took a poll of everybody that is on this call tonight, that there would be very few people that sought someone out and said, can I join your Mary Kay team? I mean, honestly, somebody asked y'all. That's my guess. I mean, I could be all washed up, but go ahead and type in the comments if somebody did ask you, or so, like if you went out and sought it out, you can type in the comments. But otherwise, we just know that, women don't know that they can ask us. So yes, for sure. Another thing that you just, when you were talking I loved so much, be a magnet of miracles. That was so good. And Julia did say, you know what? When you're taking care of your faith, the time in faith, you're taking care of your body and you're taking care of your family. God's going to have time for the miracles. That's so powerful. And then also she said that growth includes failure. So you can't really have any growth without failure, because you guys, not everybody's just tiptoeing on glitter and sunshine. Okay. You don't learn from glitter and sunshine. You learn from the mud and the muck. And so make sure that you're going through that. So anyway, Trista, thank you so much. Thank you for receiving, being open, receiving and learning. You are going to be an elite team leader this month, and you're going into DIQ, sister. I know you are. And you're going to be an amazing mentor of women. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for being on tonight. All right. I have to share with you one more thing, and then I'm going to have Katie come on real quick. You guys, this was just a really crazy story. So we're all getting ready in our room. I'm actually in the shower. Katie's in the bathroom doing makeup or something like that. And I'm like, Katie, I don't know why I'm just going to tell you this, but this is something on my heart. When I was in DIQ, the Lord just kind of gave me a vision that, I am the locomotive to focus forward. When you're on a train, you don't jump off the tracks and weave around and mess around. And like the cattle guard is that pushes things aside. So negative thoughts go that way. Negative people go that way. You are focused on your mission. You're focused on your dream, and you're focused on your goal. And we went to our director classes that morning, and the amazing Susan McCoy stood up there and she said, I like to think of myself as the engineer of the pink locomotive. And I'm like, oh my heavens, this is unbelievable. But that's God's timing. That's God's guidance. And so I thought that was just really powerful. But what I liked about what she shared is that, but I'm like, Katie, that is totally a word for you. So, but you can't worry about if you're the engineer of that pink locomotive and you've got momentum going forward, it doesn't matter who gets on and gets off the train. You're not changing directions. So if you've got clients that are with you now but leave you someday, or team members that are with you now but leave you someday, your locomotive is still going to the destination, and you're powerful and you cannot be stopped, and you're not going to turn around and focus on what's going on. You're just going full steam ahead. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. And is Katie on here? I would love to have the amazing Katie Harris hop on here. And Katie, thank you so much for I know when you have young kids, it's hard to invest in an event like this time-wise, but you did it. You made the time for it. You were there. And I just want to know, how did this event bless you?
Hey guys. Oh, so much, Jana. Well, first of all, it's always nice to be able to share a bed with top directors, you guys. If you've ever done this before, it's very much a blessing, because I got to sleep right next to the lady who's next to my face right now. And it was amazing. So, but really though, the girlfriend time is like so incredible, like so powerful and genuine, because I'm thankful to say that I have a lot of girlfriends. I have close girlfriends. I have ones that I've picked up, after becoming a mom. But when I go to a Mary Kay event, or when we have some time of like closeness together, when we go over to Jana's and it's me and Rosie or whatever, this girlfriend time is like, I have to have a notebook with me. Like, we talk about some really important things and we have life conversations, and that's really important to the people that you surround yourself with, for sure. And last weekend was a shift in my thinking. This, it came at like a perfect time, the middle of October. And Julia Mundy is small but powerful. She is small, but she is mighty. She is feisty, and she is so good. And I loved listening to her accent. And because the way she said things, I was like, I could just listen to you and soak all of this up. But a couple of key things that I really took away from her, and I'm actually going to start at the back because I was like highlighting this and like writing this in bold. So James, in the Bible, James chapter 3, verse 4 talks about taming your tongue. And she said, your tongue is a rudder, like that of a boat, and it will steer you in the direction that you are going to go. What you speak to yourself, what you say to others, what you affirm in yourself is like where your mind goes, and that's where you're going to lead your body and make your decisions and choose the path that you're going to take. So but just real quick, in James 3:4, well, it's 3:3 actually, if we put bits into the mouths of horses so that they obey us, we guide their whole bodies as well. And so when I was thinking about that verse, I was thinking about consultants that I am leading, and people that are watching that we don't even think about, that are watching us. Because one of the things that Julia said was there are so many people who are watching everything you post or what you say or the pictures that you're putting on, or maybe there's that one consultant in your unit who doesn't ever post anything on your Facebook group or on your Voxer group, but she's still listening. She still sees all of it, and she sees your successes, and she sees your missed goal or whatever it is. And so they're watching your journey, and they're watching what you're putting out there in front of them. And they're also watching the way that you're living your life. And I'm not trying to say like that's super creepy, but I'm saying more so we're setting an example. And I don't say that to put pressure on. I'm just saying, like, we have to remember that, not only as like directors, we have to remember that as people, as consultants, we are representing Mary Kay, because that's what it all comes down to. Is like, whenever I was thinking about the girlfriend time, like all encompassing the girlfriend time, the new director friends that I made, that are like so much fun. I had so much fun with them. Like, this is representing Mary Kay. And I feel like I really figured out why I had been missing in-person events. And it's not even like a corporate event, but gosh, it might as well be. It was so put together well. But I was like, that really sets it apart, like the quality time that you get together, the people that you meet, and then seeing how they represent Mary Kay, and how Mary Kay Ash is like living and breathing through people like Julia Mundy and Jill Davis and these other top directors that I'm able to touch arms with and embrace and talk to and learn from. Oh my gosh. Okay, so one of the big things that I took away from Julia Mundy is something that I've struggled with for a really long time. And it's so funny that God is so funny, like the foreshadowing and just the things that he puts in your path. And then you're like, wow, okay, I get it, God, I got it. One thing that she said was, have you taken your goal poster down for this year? Like, it is October. July was the beginning of the seminar year. Have you already taken your goal poster down? Have you already like chucked it and been like, nope, we're not on track, done, not doing it? I hope that you haven't. She said, I did it. I'm sure some of you have done it. Mary Kay Ash would have never done that. And it's like, it's like of course she would have never done that. Absolutely, right? And she has so much belief in us still. But who has a goal poster up is the enemy, is Satan. Okay. And I don't know if you share faith in Jesus, but there is an enemy out there. Okay. And his goal is to kill, steal, and destroy. And so when she said those words, I was like, oh my gosh, why don't we think about that? Not giving him power, absolutely not, but being aware that it's out there and that he's sneaky. Okay. Because she said, turn the table, like turn it around and think, if I were my enemy, how would I take me down? Just like what Trista was just saying, like how we say, well, I'm not spending enough time with my kids or my husband, or my house is dirty, or, I need to wash my hair for the 5th time today. Like, there's all these things that are important to me. But what is your goal and what is your priority? What did you promise yourself at the beginning of the week, at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of the seminar year, that God placed on your heart but you're deciding to lean into or give into these other things that are priorities, but you haven't given anything to this priority. So you got to come back to that. Okay, so another thing was, there's a difference between being for someone and being with someone. She said, find your people that are with you, that show up with you, that also speak into you, like meaning find your like your top consultants who continue to show up, and make sure that they know that that is important, that you appreciate that, but also seek out the people that you know would be with you, that would be standing with you and rallying with you. If they're not already a part of your Mary Kay personal team, or if they're not already a part of Mary Kay, find them and talk to them. Just like what we've been saying, people are totally, absolutely praying for an opportunity like this. Okay, absolutely. One other thing I wanted to share is, gosh, it was like a dagger to the heart, you guys. Okay, but in the best way possible. And of course, my lovely, amazing friend Jana was like, we're going to sit in the front row. And I'm always that person that's like, I'm not here. But I was so present, you guys. And I soaked up everything that she said. And one thing that she said in the beginning was, are you accessing the Holy Spirit and Jesus who's already inside you? Like, are you allowing him control? Or are you taking the reins all the time? Are you allowing him to play out the plan that he's already had for your goal and your dream? Because if he's put it on your heart and put it on your mind and put it in front of you, and you've taken the time to cut out all that cardstock of that car and you've stuck it everywhere all over your house, but you're still choosing not to work the plan, work the numbers, just work your business, are you really letting him have control? And are you really trusting in him that he already has it figured out? I was like, wow, this is a heavy dose of, who is, really in control and who's really doing it. So those are my biggest takeaways. I mean, everybody else was awesome. What Jana just told you about Susan McCoy and the pink locomotive, like I was like hitting her arm, like, Jana, you hear her? It's divine. But just don't look to the right or the left. And guys, I have to just say how amazing this leader is next to me, which I know, like, if you give me a platform, I will say how amazing she is. But since I was a young pup consultant, like 8 years ago, which probably doesn't sound like a long time, but it seems like a long time, just because of all the life that's been lived. But she's always told me, if you have a goal, keep your blinders on. Do not look to the right. Do not look to the left. Keep your goal in front of you and do the work, because it will happen when you do the work and you don't get distracted and you don't allow other things to pull you in different ways. And I'm so thankful for that, just drive right ahead. And the motivation, of course, behind it with what's at the end of it. So that's really all I have got. Thank you for letting me share.
Katie, thank you so much. What an awesome compliment. And you know what? That is biblical. It's like, set your face like flint and do not look to the left or to the right. And so, a lot of my motivation does come from the word of the Lord. And so, thank you so much. Thank you for making it happen. I know sometimes it's not convenient to attend events like that, but you made it happen, and you're going to receive the fruit of your labor in making that happen. So yay. So anyway, Cleta, it was such an amazing event. The girlfriends, I got to see girlfriends from Florida. I got to see girlfriends from Kansas City. They were, and I met some new girlfriends that were there from Illinois, and they were so much fun. And so you guys, there was just so much. And by the way, Julia did say, we are on, the enemy has a goal poster and you're on it, because he's coming for you because you have a goal. Because you know what, there's only about 5% of the people in the world here have goals. And so do you think he's going to focus on people that don't have goals and they're just wandering around? You wondered why you're getting picked on? It's because you have God put a goal in your heart and you're going for it.
Mhm.
So don't be surprised when you have obstacles. Keep pushing through it, right? Anyway.
Well, Jana, thank you so much. You guys, in fact, I think I'm gonna have to even get this out for Jana. Way to go, Jana!
Thank you.
And your
everyone that
awesome
shared.
area, the Katie, thank you so much. I just love that girl so much. I miss you, Katie. It's been way too long since I've seen your beautiful face. And Dolores and Tristan, Annette, thank you for sharing. I mean, I know you're like, boss babe call. Thank you. You did a great job. It's good to hear your voice on here. And we need to be seeing these future leaders on here. So thank you so much. And Jana, just thanks for sharing that. Not everybody had a fall retreat that they can just go to. So it's so nice to share the ones that do. And I know some of us have been to one, and, I like to go to more than one thing. So I'm going to another one next month. And, but I just can't wait. It's with the people, and you learn so much just by watching and observing and listening. And you don't get that sometimes, just like, even though we love each other here, you get in person, you will get more. Let's just say that. So thank you so much. I want to say that, I want to give y'all one little tip, and then we'll let, if we have a second for the directors to chime in. I went to Amelia Island this weekend, and it's right by Fernandina Beach, Florida. And so there is a congregation over there, Fernandina Beach Church of Christ, and the preacher there used to preach here in Valdosta 5 years ago. And he went to Texas for 4 years, and then he ended up going over there. And I've been like for a year and a half, I'm like, I'm gonna go surprise him one day at this church. I'm gonna go surprise him one day at this church. So anyway, this morning on vacation, me and Brad and another director friend of mine, Lynn Purser, and her husband Clint, we got up, and church started at 9:30 in the morning, and we got there at 9:05. Now this is packing up your room. We were in this condo, cleaning it up and getting to church at 9:05. I don't know, that's like a big deal for me. Okay, so anyway, not that I went to church, but to get there 25 minutes early. Well, anyway, I have a point to it. So we walk in there, and of course he's already there. The minister is always going to be there, and they have service first and class second. So I walk in there, and he's like, and I'm like, I said, preacher. And he was so excited to come and talk to me and Brad. And the thing about that I want to say is when he preached at Central, and even now though, Brad, when I started dating, he liked to sit in the front. So this is my comment on here. The YouTubers, you didn't see what I put, but I said winners in the front, sinners in the back. So we have a large congregation, and I sat in the back, like not the total back, the second row from the back. I know that don't even seem like me, but that's where I sat with my friends. And so here comes Brad Eyre along, and he goes, so the first time he came to church, and he's like, why are you sitting back here? I said, well, this is just where I sit. And if he don't march, he wants to sit on the second to the front row in the middle. Like we have 3 sections in our church, and 3 different things. And he wants to be in the middle, in the front. And the only reason not the front, because there is a actual TV there, so the preacher can see the song, whatever's going on the monitor. And I'm like, you've got to be flipping kidding me that I'm going to go from the back, not to the middle. Let's go all the way to the front. So this preacher, I always was in the middle, like dead center to the middle. And every Sunday he's like, you need to inch over like 2 inches. You're just a little, and I'd scoot over a little tiny bit. It's just like, it's been like a funny thing. So sure enough, today, we get there, we see him, and I'm like, he goes, where you got to sit? I said, I know. So we go up to the front. Me and Brad, Lynn, and Clint sit right second row to the front, right dead in the middle. I said, am I getting anybody's seats? He goes, no, ma'am. He goes, first come, first serve. And he said something about it, in it. But so but here's the thing. When you sit in the front of a thing, anything you're at, you will gain so much more because you have 0 distractions, because all you see is the speaker, not anything's going on behind you. And I've gained so much more at a church since I started sitting in front. Shh, don't tell him. But after church, Brad and I ended up going to his house and talking to him a minute. And this is something where you said about the locomotive, and then the speaker said something about it, and you're like, there you go. Lynn and I were talking about Mary Kay. Of course, she's a senior sales director, Cadillac director. We had 2 pink Cadillacs at church, and about what brings you joy in Mary Kay. And some things you do because you have to do. You don't really want to do it, but you do it. You don't even like doing it, but you do it. But then there's some things in Mary Kay, I would assume if you're still in the company, that you really like to do. Like you might really like doing the facials, like in person when someone comes over and doing the facials or the parties or doing a career chat. Or you might be just love virtual. You like getting on with virtual and doing a virtual party or whatever it is that you love to do. And we were talking about that and said, as Mary Kay directors and consultants too, some of the stuff you have to do even if you don't love it, but find the things that you love and do more of it. Do more of it. And she likes, of course, and we all like in person better than virtual, but I don't mind virtual. She would just soon never virtual. She makes herself do it. But I said, you've got to have joy in your business. You got to do more of the other because that's what's going to fill your cup up, So I want y'all to think about that. Well, Brad Jarvis, we went to his house to talk to him. He's a preacher, and he was talking about serving in the church. And he said, you just got to do what brings you joy in the church. Like if you can't stand cooking, don't offer to go in the kitchen and cook the meals for the people. He said, but maybe your joy is talking to the little kids, but if you hate middle school age kids, they get on your nerves, don't volunteer to teach that. If that's like a misery, you're supposed to love the Lord, and what you do, you're supposed to do it with joy. And he said, there is a place in church for everybody. And there's something to do that you would really love and enjoy and look forward to. And I thought, there's my little confirmation of what we're doing in Mary Kay. And it's different than the church, but find what really makes you happy in that. And, like if your thing is people and you really have not been with people because of COVID or whatnot, there's some people that want to get together with you. And it's as simple as calling a friend and say, hey, would you like to come over? I've just got some new products and I need a little guinea pig to practice on, or you may just like to try some stuff. I would just love for you to come over. You might be surprised that somebody goes, I would love to come over. I'm so lonely over here. And then you can get together and play some makeup. I had a gal come this week and I told y'all about on the Boss Babe Boxer group. And she has thanked me, if not once, 4 times since the facial. Thank you for making me feel beautiful. That like post every day. She's almost posted a selfie. Thank you so much for making me feel beautiful again. Because she's just going through a really hard time. Could not have done that over the phone. I could not have. And so anyway, Jana, everything you and your gal said, I just love it. I did circle about the enemy has a goal poster. It's really scary when you think about it. But then if you know it and things happen to you, you're like, that is his goal, like to put obstacles in your way. So thank you for that reminder on that. And then I actually took 3 pages of note, Jana. I like the pray and trust him, just that path. Pray and trust him in the good and the bad. Thank you for talking about that. And I love the little ideas for your, for your customer pages to do those little fun games, give a prize, and it doesn't have to be an expensive prize like a mini. So I won't take what everybody said, but I just appreciate you preparing and your girls and just taking your time to share with us today. I can tell you're passionate about it, and I know you're super excited. And we would love for you to share on the Voxer group all the director tips. So on the one, for the directors. Okay, so I'm sure there's some other people that would like to say something. Just go ahead and unmute. I'm going to turn my spotlight off and I'll put y'all up here with her. Anybody like to say, Sayla?
Yes. Hey, I was trying to unmute. I'm like clicking. What a great job, Jana and team. So inspiring. And really, I thought, man, I wish I had been sitting there on that front row with them. It was really good. What I loved was what you said about the baggage.
Yes.
Is that it is invisible, but not unreal, right? And so many times we just want to just say, you know what, just because we can't see it does not mean that it isn't really real. And one thing that I have really started trying to do with myself, and it's really powerful, is y'all treat yourself like you were in charge of being good to yourself. Like if I was in charge of being good to Jana or Katie or Cleta, I would be like calling, texting, encouraging, saying, way to go, girl. But we don't treat ourselves that way, and we are always talking down, or having doubts and discouraging thoughts. And So treat yourself like you are in charge of being good to yourself. And it changes everything. And it goes right in line with what you guys were saying. It was a powerful call. And I thank you for the variety of things that you guys shared. Just a power packed hour. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Selah. You're just a ray of sunshine all the time. And I love that. I love that advice. That is, we do need to treat ourselves good because, right, Cleta said, if we don't do it, who's going to do it?
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm. Thank you, Selah. Okay, Maureen, you want to hop on?
Thank you so much, Jana. That was amazing. And Katie and Annette and Dolores and Trista, I loved everything you guys shared. I too have a ton of notes, highlights, and everything else. I loved right at the beginning when you talked about brushing your teeth twice a day, to clean your thoughts twice a day.
That was
I think
good.
that's super important, trusting God's timing. And I loved, I don't know, it was Jana that said, be a bulldog with my dreams.
Yeah.
Man, I that's something I'm going to be writing down on my daily, time, on my daily 6 most important things list. To be a bulldog, that's a visual for me personally, because that means, like, come on, you can do this. This is not, get angry, get going with it, get there. And getting that book, Audacity, Be a Queen. Thank you so much for reading that page, Trista. That was powerful. And I think reading a page of that out loud to ourselves, even maybe looking in the mirror, would be a crazy great affirmation. At least that's what I'm going to try out. Yeah. And everything else was fantastic. I loved, Annette, when you talked about fear versus visit. You were fearful, but then you turned it into a visit. I really liked that, because sometimes even the people that look like they're all really comfortable with talking to people, like, really aren't, but we do it anyway. But turning it into a visit really helped my brain, my mindset for that. So thank you so much. And yeah, so thank you. There's tons and tons more, but thank you so much for sharing everything you learned, because I loved everything. It was great. You guys did a great job. Thank you.
You know what? I have to tell you that now that you said that, it just gives me passion thinking about that bulldog. I'm gonna get a picture of a pit bull. I'm getting a picture of a pit bull hanging on to like a branch or something, like, oh no, you do not let go. So thank you, Maureen.
Hey, let me say, hang on just a minute. This is so funny. I'm just jumping here with y'all a minute. I actually had a Boston Terrier, which is not a pit bull, but he's from the pit bull family. I think he's a bulldog family, and no kidding when I tell you, he had grabbed another animal. I won't tell y'all what it was, and he would not drop it till finally we had to hit him in the nose. Like, he would not drop it. Like when they say, like, they lock their mouth on it, and it's like locked. And like, we really had to hit him in the nose to drop the little baby kitty. I know, terrible. But anyway, that's what happened. And but they lock down and they do not let go until someone hits them in the nose. So we got to hold our dreams so hard that you don't have to hit us in the nose to drop it.
That's right.
Okay. Larry.
I too just want to thank you for sharing. I typed up so many notes as you were going through it. And I love that too. You don't learn from the glitter and the sunshine. You learn when you're digging through the mud and digging for it. And I know you've talked about the Gopher Notebook recently. So I pulled it off my shelf last night and was just kind of scanning through, because I underline as I read things and underline. And so I kind of scanned through the book quickly last night. And it just was such a good reminder. And one of the things that kind of hit me is skill is highly overrated. And eventually it became clear that a motivated person who was willing to get in front of enough people and simply tell their story would always outsell the sales pros. And so to me, it kind of goes in line with so many things that you were talking about just, going for it and just continuing to pursue that dream despite the no's, because that is just going to be the path to get there. And so it's just further validation that we just have to be willing to do the work and give something for God to bless. And so I love all the things that you tied in as each different speaker spoke tonight and pulled the notes from the conference. I wish I could have gone with you all, but anyway, it just was very, very good. And it's just another confirmation that we are where God wants us to be. And we just need to continue to pursue that and do the work. And because, like you said, somebody is praying for us to ask them.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
good.
Thank
So
you,
good.
Loree.
Okay, thank you, Loree. All right.
I miss seeing Loree too, and say, let everybody in person. Oh my
I
gosh.
know, Jana, you and Katie missed the beach trip. What's up with that? And Rosie, we miss y'all.
You know, that wedding.
Okay, it's 9:00. Anybody else want to say anything really quick? Just unmute. I don't see any other live directors on live. Okay. I don't think so.
Christine's online.
I mean, live without like a live, like their faces on here. Christine, did you want to say anything? Okay, we're just going to go ahead and wrap it up. Jana, thank you again. All of the consultants and directors that are on here. I just want to thank you again for that. And also just tell you, we do appreciate you. Just like one of them said about who shows up, look for the people that's with you and for you. And that's how we feel about you guys that actually show up and get on these calls. I look at them. I'm like, who of my people are on here? And I write their name down and I'm like, those are my girls. Those are my people. Right. So thank you for doing that. And I know we have a lot of A-team that watch us on YouTube. And I mean, I call them my A-team. I know they got their own directors and all that, but they're our A-team. They're our Boss Babe A-team. And so we thank y'all for watching. I know a lot of women watch Monday, believe it or not, Monday morning on the way to work, maybe. So y'all are blessing a lot of people. And Jana, you blessed a ton of people tonight. So thank you so much. We'll see y'all next week. Now, here's the deal. Next week is Halloween, which, but we have trick-or-treaters. Okay. I understand that. I don't know at y'all's house, but we have trick-or-treaters and it's around the Boss Babe call. So I understand if you're in and out, we're going to go ahead and have it. It may be just a little bit shorter. I know myself, I have 3 things that night plus family coming in town. And so we're going to have it, but I will say this, the next day is the 1st. And I will be doing a call. I'm not sure what time. It will probably be in the afternoon. I don't know exactly what time, but I will put it on Boss Babe and I will actually, I'll put it on Boss Babe. I will put it on Boss Babe Box Root, but I will stream it to YouTube with all the new stuff for the month of November. Okay, so because believe it or not, next Monday is November. Hello. So all of us, what do we need to be focusing on? Getting a gold medal, right? Selling some products, getting our order in, get our Powered by Pink jewelry. All the new little perfume sets are available now, no limit. So there's going to be those girls in Mary Kay that order 100 of them. Don't think they're not going to. So don't whine and cry on November the 15th when they say, oh, they're out of the set. I didn't get any. I'm telling you now, I say this with love. If you want any, get them now because they're only going to be here until they're here. And it took us this long to get them. They're not going to just like, oh, we're going to just keep making. I'm just telling you now, if you want some of those cute little sets, you need to order them tonight. Do you understand what I'm saying? Tonight. And the cool thing about the women's one, which I didn't even realize, is the perfumes. There's 2 new perfumes in there. There's Live Fearlessly and then Love Fearlessly and something else fearlessly, I believe. Laugh. Anyway, I'm not looking at it right a second, but it's some new fragrances. And I hear they smell, well, I have them, but anyway, they smell really, really good. Okay. So just want to kind of put that plug in, and congratulations to all of you who did your preferred customer program so that your people will get the winter lookbook, because you'll get to order all the new products November the 10th, which is pretty exciting. So we will be showing you all that stuff, but not till Monday. So y'all don't worry about November. Let's still go in October, right? So thank y'all for coming on here tonight. All of my gals, we're going to have a quick unit meeting right afterwards. Everybody else, we'll see you next week. Thank you again, Jana, and your amazing team.